Hey! I think I've got it working this time. A reposition fits. There we are. Should be able to see most things. Is trying to move things around the screen and not being able to see everything. What's to see? Right, and I think that'll do. That'll do. That'll do. Can I see that? Can I see that? Yes, we can. Right, where are we? Flying from Cardiff to London Heathrow. Flight plan is programmed in. We spent the night trying to sort that out and work the ins and outs of how you do all that rubbish. Blimmin'. Quick look around me. Okay, we're going to assume that the plane is parked on top of another plane again. Let's get things going. Just a little. Oh, it's not going to do the thing now. I forgot to turn them on. It would help if I actually turned the power on, wouldn't it? Clever. So again, we're mapping real-world weather and time. Lights, camera, action. Alright, we need to head off down that direction. And it looks like my YouTube chat isn't working, which is great. It's another thing that's decided to fail. Put the brakes on before we hit them. Let me reload that chat window, see if we can get that working. Looks like it's working now. Let's see if it stays like that or whether it decides to crash out on us. So again, check in. Oh, blowing quite a gale. Flight sticks in the right area. Holy crap. That's definitely blowing around. Ooh. Try and keep it remotely level. We'll get it back to a little cruising. Not going to put my head tracker on today. We'll now let the GPS navigation do the work. It's going to go through a couple of waypoints. This is really just me testing what I've programmed in and see if it works. Basically, it's just going to get me to London Heathrow, which it should do. Totally miserable day. Let's see if we can put up a bit more altitude. Although probably not too high because it's low cloud cover. I think that's about our limit, to be honest. Any more will be in the clouds. Not really a good idea. Actually, it looks quite nice with the clouds. Although the clouds do hit the frames per second, just running around 40. But it still looks fairly smooth, even at 40 frames. So this is going to probably take me a good hour or so. Not exactly lightning speed with this thing. But again, this is just me trying to understand the ins and outs of GPS, how it works, the buttons you use on and off, and what have you. At least I know how to turn the damn thing off, which is always a good idea at some point. I'm liking the clouds though, considering they're not enhanced in any way. I need to look to see if there's a free way to enhance the clouds. But they're not bad for what's in the game, to be honest. Helps press the right button, I guess, doesn't it? Kind of nice knowing that you've got the GPS set and you can just look around and enjoy the view, rather than checking out all the controls every 2 minutes. Busy morning for some people. Being a touch more, maybe. Gonna get right on the limit of those clouds. One of the course corrections. So yeah, just GPS flight, making sure that I've programmed it correctly, seeing if the settings I put in are working fine, which they seem to be so far. Oh, there's a train down there. Where's that gone? Down there. A little bit clickety-clackety. And I thought it'd be nice to actually do it in real world weather and time. Make a change from sunny skies all the time anyway. So far so good. GPS tracking's working fine there. The ETA now to BCN. Oh, well, we've got the D213F first. And we end up making another turn. Now again, things like when it comes to landing, you know, your ILS and all of that, yeah, I'm not going to be bothering with any of that. I'll just take it straight in and hope I don't crash and burn. One step at a time, innit? Trim wheel down there, working its way. Oh wow, those frames per second have dropped quite considerably. Let's push for a little bit more altitude. Those mountains are making it a little bit more of a problem. I don't want to go too high, I don't want to get into the clouds. In for another turn. I get a feeling landing this might be a bit awkward. Does make you wonder though, if this thing's running at what, 30 frames per second, makes you wonder what the new Flight Simulator 2020 is going to be doing with all the graphics that they've got going on, and wonder if they've coded it really well. Or is it going to be like this, where you slap it in and it's going to be like, no, sorry, you're not going to get 20 frames. Guess we'll find out soon enough. Down in the valleys. Oops. Just freaked out on me. Where are we at? Might put it up another few notches on the old altitude. We can barely get away with it at just shy of 2,000. Map. Should be on the pretty much main run now, so it's 39 minutes now until our next ETA. Kick back, relax, get a drink. That's what I've done. Got a bottle of water. Trying to be good. Cut down on the coffee. I drink way too much coffee. Cruising quite nicely. Feels like it's got a bit of buffering. You can see the right stick jostling around a little. Buffering around a bit. Good to see that the plane probably does a much better job than I would. Actually, you seem to get better frames outside the cockpit. We jump back in. Oh no, it's weird. It's actually gone up now and staying up. Must have been ground textures or something. Whoa. Actually getting worse, I think. This is going to be fun. I'm guessing actually being up when this thing's getting thrown around like this probably wouldn't be a fun flight. You could just... That's just not staying very level, is it? Turn coordinator. Being rocked around quite a bit. Take a little bit of altitude off. Starting to wonder how well I would actually handle a plane with it being buffed around so much with just a flight stick rather than a flight yoke. I forgot. Got my iPad for my dash. Hopefully that'll sink in and work. Something else I need to learn how to use by the looks of it. That doesn't seem to be loading in. On the wrong plane, that's... Still got 30 minutes of this flight path. Hey, Equalizer, how you doing? I'm about to throw up in this plane, I think. That's getting a pretty good buffering. How's your day? You doing anything good? I'm on another chill day. Thought I'd do a stream now because I'm busy later on today. Might be able to do a bit of streaming later on this evening, but that's up in the air. What's this? It's a bit of a better view that when you don't feel like you're going to be sick with it. So we're going to let the plane do most of the work on this one. This is going to be a GPS test flight for me to make sure I've got it all working. Oh, test stream. Well, what are you going to be streaming? Oops, I keep nudging the blooming mouse. Oh yeah. It's not a bad view. It's looking in the general direction that we're going in. Hopefully you have some good luck setting up a stream. I did start the stream a little bit earlier. And it did the same thing again. It captured the map. Because I put the map display on the other screen. It captured that and I didn't realise until I took off. So I cancelled the stream and started again. There's always something. What do you, got any idea what you plan on streaming first? Assetto Corsa, Dirt Rally. Bit of ETS. Yeah, I don't blame you on that one. It's nice and easy. Plus it means you can engage with chat. But like this, I quite like doing this because if people do come in and want to talk, it's easy for me to engage with chat while this is doing an autopilot. I just gotta remember to look at the chat because I keep forgetting. Supposedly, it's flying high. There's a plane behind us, but it's probably way higher. Oops. I don't like it when it gets stuck on the old mouse. If you do, make sure you get a good cam, because it's, I mean, I jumped straight in for that camera and went straight for a GoPro. So as long as you've got a decent quality cam, something like, if you use something like a webcam, it's too low a quality to capture what the screen is doing. Plus, of course, the colours will look off, and yeah. But to be honest, I find myself using a single screen cam view more and more these days. I think people like being able to see what the actual game itself as well, so it's nice to be able to switch back and forth. I've thought about doing a face cam as like, who wants to look at my ugly mug? Just better just to see what's going on. Maybe one day. I've got 2 GoPros now, so maybe I'll get the other one rigged as a face cam, but like, I need to get another cam link if I decide to do that. But that's way down the line. Need to have funds to buy that first, and that's another 120 odd quid that right now I'd rather pump into other stuff. Altitude is holding steady. Weird. Some of the dials are slightly different in what they're reporting. You'll have to do a little rig tour video. Show everybody what you're using. Keep meaning to do an updated one for me, but it's like, nah. Yeah, it can get quite toasty warm when you're sitting in the rig, and you don't think about it really. You think, yeah, you know, driving around be nice and easy, don't worry about that, but yeah, it can get pretty damn warm. Wait until the summer. Oh, I mean, you know, here in the UK it's not exactly boiling weather, but whew, it certainly adds up. There were a couple of days where I decided, yeah, I'm not going to bother streaming, it's just too warm to be driving around in a sim rig. PC belting out God knows how much heat. Trying to take in some of the views. Which was it? That one? No, that one. I'm forgetting the buttons to press. I need to have a little cheat sheet somewhere. And if I remember correctly, there was a views enhancer or something for this game. I might look into getting that. Ooh, looks like we're driven. Looks like we've flown through the worst of the clouds so far. Been a really dull, kind of murky day. Lots of wind around here, so You could do. But you're right. That's one of the reasons with the way I built mine. But the only problem is now if I raise the height of the rig, I'd have to raise the height of the monitors, and yeah, it's because it's in such an awkward place. I don't know if I want to go through that hassle of dismantling it all and adjusting it and then putting it back in its place. Maybe one day. I think when it comes to taking the rig out of where it is, cleaning it and rewiring it or something, then maybe I'll look at getting the legs for it. Either that or install a grab rail. You can pull yourself up. I think I can get away with what I've got because I mounted. I'd have to show you. Instead of laying the profile flat, so I went for 80-40 profile. Is it? I think it's 80-40 anyway. So obviously I've got it. Instead of laying flat, it's on its side, so the 80-40 is standing up. Because I know I think it's on the P1 rigs, they use 40-40, so it's just a square. So what I've done is used 80-40, so it's 80 high, to give me that little bit of extra height. And I've got to admit that extra 40 helps, because it helps with adjustment for the chair itself. You don't have to mount the chair as low, or you can adjust the height of the chair by you adjusting the base. So if you've got a bit of flex on your mounting point for the chair, if you can raise it up. But it depends on how much flex you've got on your chair for adjustment on height. So you may have a bit of play there, but you may not, depending on what you've got. With mine, I know I could move it up at least, I don't know, another 20, I think maybe another 40 mil if needed. And that's quite a big jump. But then again, if you do that, you've got to reposition your pedals, so it's a rejig of everything then. It may be simpler just to raise the rig up and adjust the monitors. Rope from the roof. Careful now. You might want to use it to hang yourself when you're doing badly in a race. I know I'd be tempted for that. I'd be like, oh, I'm doing bad. Where's the rope? Blah. Let's have a look. Where are we? We are on ETA. Another 13 minutes of this. We'll be on to our next waypoint, whatever that is. I wonder if I can get the GPS on the iPad. Could do. Should allow me to put the GPS there. Okay. So I can pop out the GPS, I can pop out my map as well at least. That helps me keep an eye on things. So as it stands, somewhere up there, probably in the clouds, there's a plane flying over us. Yeah. Flying at 466 knots at an altitude of 34,000 feet. Yeah, he's burning rubber. wonder if it's worth flying higher. Keep it at low for now. Uh-oh. Closed my window down. Didn't want to do that. Then again, let's try... on that. I have, yeah, you can set weather conditions. You can do stormy weather and all sorts in the game. I've not actually done storm. This is set to real world weather at the moment, so it tries to mimic what's happening where I'm flying. So seeing as I'm flying from Cardiff, which is about 50-minute drive from where I am, down to London, basically. Supposedly, yep, should be able to do all of that. We're going to go for some height. I've not actually... I don't think I've actually... In this plane, I've probably... Oh. Changed my window again. I hate it when it does that. Hold on a second. Why did it change my window when I didn't tell it to? There you go. Should be back now. Sorry about that. Hold on. Really push the altitude here. I don't think I've ever taken it over like 3,000, so this is all new territory for me. Uh-oh. Didn't like that. See that? Watch me crash and burn now. Yeah, you can simulate all sorts of landings if you wanted to. Maybe I'll get around to doing that one day. I need to practice my landings. I mainly land in perfect weather, so it makes it nice and easy. This will be new for me. have a look at the old map a second. .68 knot winds at 34,000 feet. Wind at 12,000 feet is 51 knots. I'd say that's fairly windy, considering it's usually, when I fly out, I normally put it in as completely wind-free. It's definitely new territory for me. Definitely flying into the bottom of that cloud. Might be wise just to lower. Change. 3 minutes 33, and then on to the next one. Oh, I need my water. Oh, it's done it again, isn't it? Right, I'm gonna have to get rid of that because it keeps going back to the map. Shouldn't be changing. Yeah, it's doing it on its own and I don't know why. Really annoying me. Let me just check my capture window while this is on straight line. Yeah, it's on capture a specific window. Right, let's try that. See if that fixes that problem. Ah, such a pain in the butt. And the thing is, it changes, and because my monitor window is over to my far right, I don't notice it until maybe, I don't know, 5-10 minutes down the line. Yeah, you can open it on the same screen, but it's, for me, it's nice to have the map separate, because it gives me a bit more room to view the dials. I'll chuck it onto the screen for people to see as and when required. I mean, like now, I could just do map. Where is the map? Come on, map, work. There we go. Is that going to come through on stream is the question. Do that. I can see that now. Little helicopter flying around. Flying to Heathrow, if I remember correctly. And I'm just gonna, when I get to the airport, you know, I'm not gonna do anything properly because I don't know how to do it properly. I'm just gonna turn the plane in and get the thing down on the ground. There's not gonna be any instrument landing or anything fancy. Yeah, but we're not doing this, you know, proper. You know, I don't know the proper way of doing things ins and outs of the game. I'm trying to just learn one aspect of it at a time, so I know the basics of getting the thing off the ground. I can do normal level flight, so I thought, you know, let's have a play with the autopilot and navigation, learn a bit about that. So I've put in this, and of course you're learning the other systems that you might use. Gonna have to lose some altitude at some point. (6 minutes 20). But did chat pop out? Manage. And it's gone and lost my main windows. I can't monitor what's going on with you. Nice. Let's have a look at the map again, shall we? So far so good. It's all going? I'd say it's all going to plan, but you know, get a bit of throttle back. Looks like the wind's not buffering around so much, so that's good. How long to land? Oh, probably at least another 15 minutes. I would have thought 20 minutes. I mean, I could have done a quick flight, you know, take off, 2 waypoints, turn around, come back, but I wanted to do something where we jumped a few, just to make sure everything was fine and I knew what I was setting into the nav. Sun's coming out. What, on a Cessna? I don't know. Maybe one day. Feeling brave. I like the way they got the light coming off the wings. Done a good job on that. Looks good. Had a little dabble with the Zebo mod plane. I was trying to learn the start procedure. Ooh, boy, that's involved. I think I prefer the Cessna where you just flick a few switches and turn a start key and off you go. I mean, obviously there's a lot more to it than that, but still. That's what it feels like compared to the Zebo mods. It's like, whoa. Have a look, where are we? 1 minute 36 for this one. I don't know if it would be for those particular... I mean, it's basically the base game is all I've got. But I've downloaded some free extras. You might be able to fly there. You'd have basic airports. You know, they wouldn't be fancy looking. They'll just be basic level. But, yeah, you know, it's probably possible. Because The number of airports this thing lists is ridiculous. I want a quick look through this little app I've got for the iPad. It's really good. Another way of monitoring everything. So it's kind of good for when I do exterior view then, so when I'm, you know, in that kind of view looking around on the main screen for you guys, I can still keep an eye on everything else. Getting buffed around again. So 12 minutes. Let me make a turn. Take a little bit of altitude off. We want to get it down to about 4,000. Look, it's like this 430 device here. I have no idea what this is doing, so this is something else I'll have to learn. Learned this one, just haven't learned what this can do as well. We'll get to that someday. One step at a time. Got a little bit of cloud below us. to get below this cloud cover. Unless, of course, this cloud cover is really low. At which point, we're on the ground. Poof. Hold it there, I think. Whoa, that changed. Take it down a little bit more. Try and get a bit of a gap. So the airport should be in that kind of direction. Shouldn't be too far away now anyway. I like the way they've got the cloud cover done. There's even some light cloud below there now. Remember in the early flight simulator days, you used to have a couple of white blobs fly through them, that was it. All this layering they have now. It's cool. Where are we? I think we're a little bit too far out to see anything. Not a million miles away though. Some map. $35,000 feet. That's where we're heading. Not going to take us. This is going to pretty much take us alongside and then in. So we'll have to kind of, as we're coming in, we'll turn out around and come down. But that's where I'll alter things manually. Because I haven't programmed it for a landing, I've just programmed it to get me to this location. And you're right, you know, I'm sure there is an airport I could use in Paris. It's actually a good idea. Could actually try a small airport around London somewhere, take off, travel across to France and land over there, so could be an interesting run. Maybe do a flight over Paris itself. Or maybe do a flight from Luton or Stansted or something. And this cloud cover's getting worse, isn't it? Where are we in relation to that airport? So it should be up there somewhere. Not going to see you that. Yeah, could do. God damn. Clouds. Ah. So I can just click this and this will take it up and down, you know, depending on which way you turn the wheel. I think it's 100 feet per click or something. Or I can just knock the autopilot off, turn it on to nav only, and then do the altitude adjustment myself. But whatever you do, you just got to remember that when you do that, you got to adjust the throttle accordingly. So I'll be coming in for the next one now. I forgot the button. There it is. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Blanking neck. Oh my god. So that should be taking us on a direct heading towards the airport, which is just there on the edge, just underneath the clouds. And the airport runway will be running across the screen. So we'll just head towards that a little bit. Oops, let's zoom out. That got a bit messy, didn't it? Probably need to lower the altitude yet again. Uh-oh. Perhaps if I do the right one, I'm just clicking the wrong button. as you can see. Right, so let's look at... turn that off. Oh no, hold on, we'll do that. That probably wasn't the cleanest turn, was it? I was a bit late with my settings. Trying to coffee fast. A little of one. Nothing major. I decided, I don't know what came over me, I was like, you know what, maybe I need to cut back on the coffee. I'll give it a go. I've got my bottle of water which is almost finished, so I need to fill that back up. So looking out over here. Yep, there's the airport over there. And the wind's blowing. Should be ready for a turn. I keep doing that right next to the microphone and I shouldn't, so I do apologise. I keep forgetting about it. It's not like my other system where I can just pause the mic really quickly. Not a bad turn. A little bit over. Probably coming in on the wrong runway for all I know, but who cares? It's only a game. Well, this could be interesting. Whoa, 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 whoa. Keep it steady. Down in one piece. Yoo-hoo! Bonus. Just slow it down a little bit. I didn't even know where I'm going on a taxiway around here. Doesn't seem to be much in the way of information for me. Ugh. We're down to 18 frames a second at this airport. Trying to keep this goddamn thing straight. It's so annoying. Starting to wonder maybe I should have gone the other way. Kind of cool coming down this way, though. Get to see all the big planes. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff you can get for this. It's kind of crazy. Let's just bring it in here, shall we? Just for a laugh. Next to the Virgin Atlantic. You know, because that's where you aspire to. Oh, look, I didn't put my landing light on. Oops, naughty. I'm a taxi. Et voila. Right, we park it there. Well, there we are. We made a flight. It actually got us to where we needed to go. Lo and behold, who'd have thunk it that we would end up... Should be parking in there somewhere, shouldn't we? Anyway, so yeah, you've given me an idea there, so maybe we'll look at doing a flight from France or something. Should be a nice little trek, and it's something like a Cessna should be able to do that. We'll use real world weather and daytime or nighttime, depending on when I decide to do the flight. But I'll certainly look into that anyway. So we've done that. We might... Don't think I'll do another flight today. I don't think I'll have enough time to squeeze one in. But if you've enjoyed that, then give it a old thumbs up, and we'll look to do another flight at another time. See if I can learn anything else about this flight simulator. There's plenty to learn, and there's plenty to take on board. It's enjoyable, actually. It's just finding the time to squeeze in and sit there and absorb what information is out there. And there's plenty of YouTube videos. The basic one, 172 is it? Skyhawk? Yeah, look, 172 SP. I guess just the bog standard, nothing fancy. Well, this is about all I own, is Xplane. You should ask for lessons and go up. But yeah. It wouldn't surprise me. It's a popular plane for certainly for learning in anyway. But that's going to be it for me. I've done my flight for today. I'm going to end it here, and I don't know. As I say, about later on today, I don't know if I'll be able to come back and do any more streams today because it's a busy day. But I'll see what I can do. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and see you in the next one. Bye.